My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Blueprints. We're hightailing it immediately out. Oh, I see where the Arrowhead Mountain is now. Hightailing it immediately out of there so that we can set up a room in the outer rooms. I mean, I really want one of the ones that gives me items, please. A lot of the time, this room has not been especially relevant for us. Root cellar, rooms in your house will have dig spots more likely today. Great. Unless I have a shovel, that does not matter. Hovels, special floor plans now cost additional steps instead of additional gems. Interesting. I want to go with shelter, though. Shelter protects you from the negative rooms of the next 3 red rooms drafted. Yeah, I figured this would probably go much deeper down. Yeah, what's in here? A time lock safe. Interesting. Canned goods. Welcome to Mount Holly Bomb Shelter. The time lock safe can be accessed by setting an unlock time and date. You can use any date and time as long as it's at least 1 hour in the future. Eh? Once unlocked, the time lock safe will remain open. Oh boy. Well, knowing what the date and time is seems very relevant here, which I don't think I do know. I know that the staff are no longer here, so I know that it can't be earlier than November 6th. I also don't know what the time is right now, so I don't really want to set anything. Radiation monitor. A measurement of the radiation levels detected in the house and surrounding grounds. These readings are often spiked by the experiments conducted in Mount Holly's laboratory. If the reading is 12 microsievert or higher, emergency protocol will initiate and all doors in the house will automatically unlock. Taking a reading and it's significantly lower than that. Got it. Look into network, terminal password. Roaming. Nope. Remain where you are for now. Given the Red Guard is due tomorrow, we've agreed with your plan and disabled remote access to other terminals and sealed the main network frame. The network mainframe, rather. Regardless of the danger, I am still not willing to risk removing shelter from the draft pool while the 3 of you are down there. Our best bet, rather, is to sit tight and hope for a little bit of luck. Remain where you are now. Given that the Red Guard is due tomorrow, we've agreed with your plan and have disabled remote access to other terminals and have sealed the network mainframe. Not willing to risk removing shelter while the 3 of you are down there. 3 of you are down there. So there is a control mechanism over the draft pool. However, you can already be in a room and it can then be removed from the draft pool. That seems to be what that's insinuating, right? The 3 of us, 3 beds. While the 3 of you are down there in the shelter, I don't want to remove it from the draft pool. Interesting. Which means there might be a card that we add to the draft pool that unexpectedly has people inside of it. Time lock safe. I'm going to go back upstairs very quickly to check on the time. It's going to take us a couple of steps, but that's okay. That's how that goes at the moment. The time is almost 9. Considering the day just started, I would have to guess it's almost 9 a.m. Do I guess November 6th? 9 a.m.? Like, that seems the best chance I have. It is November 6th. And I want it to unlock at 9 a.m. Confirm. Okay, you can reset that after you do that. Got it. Now, do I go back upstairs and check on the time, or do I just wait here for a while and just keep clicking this? It's got to be go back upstairs. I gotta watch the clock. I gotta have some certainty about this. Even if I'm losing 10 steps off my day, I can weather that. Oh, I don't even have to take a step outside of here. I can just watch that and... boom. By the time I get downstairs, it will absolutely be 9 a.m. at least. That said, I don't really expect that it'll be open. It's not. Booger. That does make sense, though, that we need to figure out what the date is. Adds some additional context to the puzzles that are invoked in some of the notes in the house. And then we're going to be starting our journey with 38 steps left. Woof. Oh, hello! Master Simon, good morning. It has come to my attention that you have been granted a daily allowance to use whilst on the estate. If it is convenient for you, I will leave the required sum here in the entrance hall each morning. If there is anything else you require, please do not hesitate to ask. Even though we have all been requested to remove ourselves from the premises during your stay, I can assure you I am still personally overseeing the estate in at least an operating at a baseline standard of service that I hope you will one day come to expect of us. Anne Babbage, house manager. I'll grab my allowance, thank you kindly for it. Alright. I mean, gosh. Parlor immediately. Yeah, give me the closet. Sledgehammer! Great! Reduce the necessity of keys over the course of this run. We'll take an ivory die as well. Roll on out of here. Mailroom! Your package is being delivered! Yes, I really want that. I can't just hope that mailroom turns up again, so I'm just gonna come in here and get it. Ah! What have you written down here? Okay. So, red memos are lies unless they're written by hand. This is written by hand. Please return all correspondence and packages addressed to Danny Ravane, to sender, as he is no longer employed with our staff. So Danny Ravane has been quit. Of some kind, I guess. Now, down here, this is almost entirely illegible. Did something, 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 something one, something, something, the, something, 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 that, something, 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 mail. Oh, god damn it. That's way too illegible, unfortunately. I can't make heads nor tails of that. Oh? That seems relevant, baby! More detailed instructions will be sent by electronic mail to the address that client has provided. Press any button to activate blue. Got it. Press a blue indicator next to a red indicator to activate purple. Got it. 5 purple indicators are needed to activate the 6. So I knew that, though. I figured that out. Them all being purple doesn't do anything, though. Oh, hello. That's us, Simon B. Jones. From Dad? Hell yeah. 1809 Alice Drive? 1809 was also a date that was relevant to something. Veneris 63022. Hey, buddy. How's it going up there in that big house? I think most people would be pretty scared being alone for this length of time, but I got a feeling you're doing just fine. I imagine you're as happy as a clam, perfectly content on the estate with the exploration opportunities and adventure presenting itself every day. As I'm writing this, you're currently in the garage back in the tent. I just wanted to try and post this letter before we depart tomorrow so that it has a chance to arrive during your first few days on the estate, but with all the preparations, I'm not sure I'm gonna find the time. There's so much I want to say, and I'm sure I'll forget to tell you Friday night. Sometimes it's just easier for me to jot this stuff down. You're yelling at me right now to come bring you a pillowcase. Sorry, hang on a second, I'll be right back. Look, I can tell you're really excited, but I think you might feel a little guilty about being so happy the day after the funeral. Believe me, I know how long Uncle Herbert worked on setting this all up for you. And I know from our conversations just how much happiness this final project brought him. So, do us both a favor. Be excited! The house really is amazing. I know it's been almost 7 years since we were last up there, but I'm really curious to hear just how much you remember from those summer trips. Look, you've always been smarter than me at this kind of thing, so I'm not sure how much guidance or inspiration I can really offer you before your trip that will actually be useful to you, but despite my best intentions, I'm sure that on Friday I'll end up leaving you with a few of my overused cliche expressions when we say farewell. Later, alligator. Dad. P.S. Get some sleep each night and don't spend all your time each day playing dirigiblocks. But father, dirigiblocks is all I want to do. I'm not seeing anything in here that's actually like especially relevant, to be entirely honest with you. So it's our father's uncle is Herbert, but also I think I could have assumed that. Alright. Oh, the package is in the center of the room. That makes sense. Packing slip. The Sinker Company. Date back to 11th of the... Hello! A shipped thing just arrived for us, which gives us the date! Date packaged was the 11th of the 5th, and it was shipped on the 11th of the 5th. I have to assume that means it just turned up today. The 11th of the 5th, we're in America, I imagine? Right? In which case it's the 5th of the 11th, which would be November 5th. What? Or it's the 11th of the 5th. What's the 5th month again? January, February, March, April, May. So it's either November 5th or the 11th of May. A black silk sleep mask. The first time you enter each bedroom with a sleep mask, gain 5 steps, that is. More detailed instructions will be sent by electronic mail to the address client has provided. I need to be able to log into electronic mail because, like, this is all of the information I already knew about that foods box. There has to be more. Something actually useful. I mean, we do have the time lock outside. I think I just go test it a couple times. So it could also be November 6th, but literally I did just try that. It could also be May 11th, May 12th. Reason being because the item was shipped, but maybe it wasn't delivered on the same day it was shipped. However, I know that the shipping was triggered yesterday. So that would tend to suggest that it is not November. Wait, hang on. I need to... God, I just waste additional steps for no reason. I need to actually go check the time before I come down here. It is not yet 10? Really? So I guess the hour moves kind of slow then. But the thing is, this is currently set to open on November 6th at 9 a.m. and it'll be open for 4 hours. So, not open right now. That means I have to change it. Are we in America? Maybe we're not in America. Color was spelt with with O's though, no U's. So that would suggest that we are in America. Ah, must be at least 1 hour in advance. Gotcha. 12 p.m. is midday? I have a lot more faith that it's November 6th. Because we set it to 9 a.m. right before 9 a.m. struck, so it wasn't at least an hour in advance. 12 p.m. is midday. Now, there's two ways I could run this. I could either go back into the building and then try and navigate around it, and then as soon as I see a clock that's starting to show near 12, I just peel back out. Oh, as it turns out, it's actually 10:40. So yeah, I did need to set it to 12. I'm glad, because that was a hedge. But as soon as it gets near like 11:45 or something like that, I'll just peel back out of the house. Alternatively, I could stand there and just watch the clock the entire time. I'm not super keen on doing that. All right, parlor. Yum! I love free steps. The gems are in a box with a statement. That's definitely going to be true. Never mind. The white box does not have a statement. That is true. I can't tell if this is true or false. The gems are in a box with a statement. Damn. That's interesting. I don't think this one has a solution. So, the white box does not have a statement, says the black box. That is true, because the white box does not have a statement. So we have our one true one confirmed. This could be either true or false. Can't tell you, because it doesn't have assertion. Actually, does that mean this has to be neutral, and that means this has to be false? Because this can't be determined to be true or false? Bingo. I'll take the pantry, grab my additional money. And another delectable apple. Security. Effective the first week of December. So does that mean December has started? It's almost 11. Let's pull up a dead end here, hopefully. Yes. I mean, furnace drawing even more red rooms, not great for us. Launder currency, though. I haven't used the laundry room. But it also has only one entrance and one exit. It requires a gem, which I have. It launders currency, which I have. Like, when's it going to be a better idea to come in here, you know? Spin cycle. The service costs 5 and will exchange all of your gems with all of your coins at a 1-to-1 rate after you lose 5. Service costs 5 and exchange all of your keys with your gems. Fluff and fold will exchange all of your keys with all of your gold. Got it. Certainly don't have enough money to actually really take advantage of this room. And, ooh, that's interesting. So this room was powered. Perhaps this would be operable, and maybe it would wash things for free. Maybe we could launder for free. I don't understand why some rooms have energy transference, some rooms don't. Laboratory has experimental house features. Thank you. I haven't got to visit that yet. Heating and cooling curves. H2O melting point at 0.1 points per thousand. Particles per thousand, rather, to 0.5 particles per thousand. I don't understand why it keeps doing this. Because that's almost illegible, but it definitely says something, but I can't possibly tell you what it says. Something to suffered. Couldn't tell you. Melting point 0 down to ice. Yeah, that is how water works. Randolph M is the lab technician. Randy M. Lab tech. Test 205 at atmospheric pressure 93 kPa. In Mount Holly freezer. Why are you testing the heating and cooling curves? H2O melting point. So H2O melting point at 0.1 parts per thousand, particles per thousand, to 0.5 particles per thousand. So I feel like this is some adulterant in H2O affecting its energy transference, its heat conductivity, and the way that it responds to the matter transitions over the course of its heat. But what is the additional thing in it? Because, like, it wouldn't make sense for all of this to be water, right? And it's water and water and water and water, and this guy's just testing the boiling point of water. Like, everyone knows that one. That one comes for free. Periodic table of elements. I know a couple of these. Harry, Liam, beryllium, you know, classic elements. I mean, I can't tell you anything about that without any reason to. We've got a what do they call that? A chemical blueprint. Ah, peas in a pod. Those are phases, waves that are out of shift with one another. Is any of this especially relevant? Am I supposed to be decoding any of this? Well, oh, there's also a left sign. I don't know why there's a left sign at the bottom there, but this is going to spell something out for us. Take a quick screenshot of that one. And then I'm going to head over to the periodic table. Can I, like, pull that up in order to show it? Notes. Add a new note. I know there's a way to apparently pin a screenshot. I can't see a way to do that right now, but I have found a way to just show it on my own screen. So we have the first entry is PU. Second is S. Third is H. So yes, push something. Fourth is TH. So I imagine we're going to have an E after this in position 5. Actually, it's an RE. So it might be push 3, 6. Yep. It's E and then a U. Push 3U. PA. So that's going to be up. Push 3 up. A. AF. TE. That makes sense. After N I N E, push 3 up after 9. Push 3 up after 9. And that push 3 up after 9. Okay. I don't understand. Are all of them going to give me a red light the first time I trigger them? Push 3 up after 9. So 9 goes up, 3 goes up. Doesn't do anything. Nothing changes because of that. However, it does look like this would be able to generate energy. I typically work over at Cinca Labs, but got sent over here for a month to assist more with the new turbine tests. I think I need some help. For the past 3 days, I've been unable to find the laboratory on the estate. Today was the first success on that front. Can anyone tell me if this is typical? And if so, how do you get any work done? Before I arrived, I was briefed on the way the doors work, but I gotta admit, I did not expect to be excluded from my new workstation for the first week. Any tips from my fellow technicians would be appreciated. Kimberly Townsend. I'm afraid I don't have any tips for you, friend. I'm learning it out firsthand myself. Okay, nothing in the center of the room that gives us an additional clue. Oh, hang on. Effective immediately, electronic mail can only be accessed via the security terminal. Laboratory experiment setup, tell me. In the laboratory, you are free to experiment by testing and combining different mechanics to create an original and unique house feature that will last until the end of the day. Select a cause from column A and an effect from column B. Each time you eat an apple, or when you draft an archived floor plan, or when you spend 2 or more gems drafting a room. And the things you can trigger are gain a key gem or gold, selected randomly. Permanently add 1 gold to your allowance. Permanently add 1 gold to your allowance seems very important. Add 3 aquariums to today's draft pool. Yeah. All right. I'm going to go for whenever you... I've already eaten 2 apples. I don't know how many more apples I'm going to find. Whenever you draft an arcade floor plan, that sometimes doesn't happen. Whenever you eat an apple, permanently add 1 to your allowance. There we go. Research logs. No experiments found. Research logs will be made available the day after a research was being performed. There is pause experiment. Don't want to do that. Login terminal. Don't have the password for that. Let's just try some. Log into network. What about syncing? Okay, what about syncing? S-Y-N-C-I-N-C. C-I-N-G, rather. And then what about syncing? Because the name of the company is Synca. So I figured, I don't know, maybe it's just that with ing at the end. So the periodic elements is telling me to push 3 up after 9. But surely one of them has to be first. One is bad, don't flip 1. 2 is bad, don't flip 2. 3 is bad, don't flip 3. 4 is bad. Don't flip 4. Like, one of these should start filling this a little bit, right? Yeah, we have nothing to suggest that we're going in the right direction here. I feel like I have all of the pieces to solve this puzzle right now, and I just can't. Certainly not gleaning any additional information from this room, unfortunately. You know what it actually is? This needs energy in the first place. This isn't an energy generator, it's an energy user. And if I provided energy to it, then I would be able to utilize it. It's currently telling me there's no power every single time. It's not telling me you have not correctly done this. It's telling me this device has no power. It can't do anything. Bedroom? Love it. Do I get another +5 because of the sleeping mask? Apple! Your allowance has been raised! It worked! Successful triggers #1. Hell yeah. I honestly believe there would never be another apple in the entire run. I mean, it's gotta be the observatory, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be an apple in here for me to be happy about it. Right. No need to toggle that. Maybe we only needed to toggle it the first time we came in here, and now it just automatically aims every other time. The slice! We now have 3 additional footsteps to head through. Guest bedroom ends our entire house, so I've got to go to the dark room. Unfortunately, I won't be able to see floor rooms while there. I'm just going to hit up a nook. Get free key. Ooh. A wood and brass magnifying glass. Inspect documents of the estate more closely. Holy hell, yes, that's really important. Let me go back. Remember the thing that I was like, I don't understand this. Then I flipped the table and I went Hulk mode and I destroyed the world? Yeah, maybe I won't have to do that this time because I'll know the thing it says instead. I mean, like, first off, let's pop that magnifying glass right there. Unless written by hand. That's exactly what it said. That's exactly what I thought it said. Hell yeah. Love it when a plan comes together. Oh. Swan song. Swan song is the password. It wasn't even ing to end. It was just an ng. Got it. But also, hell yes. And that's also emails unlocked. No! What is the time? No! What is the time? I haven't looked at the time in a while. God damn it. It says it's open for 4 hours after the trigger time. Log into network. Swan song. Let me look at those emails. Staff services. Punch in and out. The service has been temporarily disabled as of November 4th. All work has been suspended at Mount Holly, and the domestic staff has been placed on extended paid leave in accordance with the instructions left by the old man himself. See Ms. Babbage for details. Staff announcements. Saturday, November 5th. That suggests that it is not November 6th. Oops. I don't think anyone else has access to this network this month except you, Simon. So if you're reading this, just know we're all rooting for you. Your friends in faithful service. Requested schedule change. Can't do that. Same reason. Special orders. If you would like to get a specific brand of gum or your favorite fruit, the commissary is now taking special orders for all members of staff. What would you like to order? Running shoes. I don't know what those do. Gimme. I approve that order. Remote terminal access. It's possible to connect to other active terminals elsewhere on the estate using RTA. That's not allowed at the moment, isn't it? Never mind, I can do it. I'll connect to the shelter. I'm assuming November 7th has to be today. Courtesy of the fact that... Oh, hang on, it's got to be 1 hour in advance as well. Let's quickly head back, because I gotta check what time it is. It is not yet 2, so yes, I do have to set it to 3 if I'm gonna be able to do it. I should also probably check emails just in case an email rolled in on November 9th to tell me that it's actually even further along. That said, currently, this feature can only be accessed via the terminal located in the office. Got it. And the remote terminal access will not allow me to... Oh, yeah, of course. Connecting to the shelter. Time lock save. Set the date. 7th at 4 p.m. I can even log into network on that computer. Let's see what it would do there. Looks like the same amount of information. Electronic mail, of course. It'll tell me I can't use it there. Makes sense. Data transfers. Data transfers from Synca are not currently available. Glossary of terms. Adjoining contraption dead end dig. Dirigiblocks. What's that? In the commissary, players may find an arcade cabinet for the popular game Dirigiblocks, to the dismay of bored members of the staff. The cabinet has not been working order for the last several years. Although the game is not currently accessible, it's scheduled to be added in a future patch. Got it. Contraption. Workshop is a useful room. You can combine different combinations of inventory in order to create a contraption. Adjoining. They're considered adjoined if they are connecting to each other via a doorway. Makes sense. Dead end. Yep. If a room ever has additional doorways, it is not considered a dead end, even if those doorways are blocked. Allowance. The allowance and money that I get. Occasionally you find dirt piles. You can dig them up with a shovel, get hidden items. Cool. Archive floor plans. Floor plans that are hidden from view after drafting archives are considered archived. The directory contains detailed information for all of the rooms. Yep, seen that before. Bedroom. Most common type of room. They are typically used for resting and regaining steps and are identifiable by the violet borders. Dirt can be dug. Got it. Blessing. Lasts for several days. Typically bestowed from a shrine. Doesn't tell us what they are, though. Okay. Color shows the types of room. Violet for bedroom, orange for hallway, green for green rooms, yellow for shops, red for red rooms, and blue for blueprints, the default type. Got it. Oh, man. I'm going to check each entry in this glossary of terms, but I'm going to do so very quickly, because a lot of them are literally just, like, information, like, straight-up information, like, keyword information. If anything's relevant, I'll mention it. Grounds of the estates outside, makes sense. Certain rooms are rigged to trigger on entry. Hallways give you branches. The house refers to the 45 floor plan grid of Mount Holly. Only the rooms currently drafted in the house are considered part of the house. You can see previous layouts and room configurations from day past. Experimental house triggers have a trigger on effect. Makes sense. Floor plans. A feature on the network that allows you are now perusing a list of words with architectural jargon that is intended to make it simple the terms you will encounter in the estate. Entries marked question mark will be gradually revealed as you progress. Floor plans known with the green border are green rooms. These rooms are associated with outdoor areas and gardens and are naturally synergistic with one another. Mechanical rooms are marked by a gear. Permanent changes don't reset. Makes sense. Each terminal on the estate is connected to a local network named Blackbridge. I did not know the name of the network yet. That might be relevant. Outer room, I already accessed that on my literal first run. Security locked keycard doors make sense. Permanent changes don't change. That's what permanent means. Nothing new under that. There are 9 ranks listed on Mount Holly's official blueprint. However, among the staff, whispers of a 10th rank can often be overheard. So that would tend to suggest that once you access the antechamber, you can go north 1 more space to the 46th room, which is also on the 10th rank. When a spread occurs, items are randomly distributed across all rooms currently in the estate. Interesting. Several ways to increase the amount of stars visible in the night sky. The easiest method, of course, is drafting observatories. Several methods. Each additional star creates formations and constellations, which in turn provide beneficial effects. A number of data disks that can be found on the estate that contain potential room upgrades that were planned but never executed by the Baron. Makes sense. None of that was new information, unfortunately. We'll be logging out of that terminal. I'm also now going to log back into the one we are currently in front of, check if this has any different information. Not in the glossary, but literally just in any of its other availabilities. Like, data transfer, also not available from this location. Electronic mail won't be. Glossary of terms will be the same. So now let's do remote access to the lab. And then we'll very quickly check if the lab has anything unique that I haven't been able to access without the password. All right, laboratory. Show me your secrets. Data transfers are not available, and all of the rest will be the same. Cool. What's in the... wait, it wasn't in the mailroom, right? Wait, that's not... It was in the mailroom, the thing I want to inspect. I mean... Is there... anything secret hidden on any of those, maybe? Doesn't appear to be. Oh, hang on. Mora Jai. The White Sea of Yore. It's 4-cent stamp. White Sea of Yore, it says. I don't know how that could possibly be relevant, but I couldn't see this without this. So it makes it feel like it might be important at some point in the future. I don't think it's going to be relevant that it was 4 cents, but I'll write that down. I'm ready. Let me see what you said. Did they ever prove he was the one that stole the Baron's mail? Did they ever prove that he was the one who stole the Baron's mail? Danny Ravain did not quit. He was fired. Stole mail? Question mark? Unproven. Hell yeah. There's nothing secret in the dad one, is there? Hang on. The Grand Realm of Fen Ares. In fog we are lost, in fire we are found. In fog we are lost, in fire we are found. We are lost, fire found. Not certain how that could be relevant, but again, same reason as the previous, we will be observing that. Closet had nothing in it, and nor did anywhere else. Now, let's quickly check the time. It is not yet 3. I set it to 4. All right, I gotta go back in the building again. I gotta make sure that I have the ability to get all the way back out, though. What an absolute tragedy it would be not to be able to. Okay, I gotta head up through the nook. Yeah, this would have been useful to know earlier. This machine requires additional power piped in from the boiler room. Yes, yes, yes. I feel silly not to know. Hang on. Hang on. Could anything here be relevant? Checking the frame first. Not at all. I mean, it certainly seems like the most relevant thing is that necklace, but I was also able to spot that without this. I can even look closer at this, which is almost certainly not relevant, but things are a lot clearer when you're looking through this, so it's possible I could find some hidden text that I otherwise couldn't have read. Nope. Observatory. We have a den with 2 exits. That's important. We also have a kitchen with food for sale, which would give... I don't have a gem for it. Dang. All right. Kitchen with food for sale could have given me an apple, which could have been a permanent allowance, which is really irrelevant. Anything that gives me a permanent benefit is going to be a priority for us right now. Not yet 4. As soon as it is, though. And it's getting there. Nursery. Whenever you draft a bedroom, gain 5. I have a dead end on the other side, though. If the other side is locked with a key, I'm screwed. But I also have not generated a nursery yet, and I really should. Seems pretty important to me. The Red Prince by Marion Marigold. There was a red prince who sat on a red throne. He had a red crown made of rubies and a red castle made of stone. The prince had a love for all things red. It's the only true color, the prince often said. The only true color. Blue memos are true, red memos are lies unless they're written by hand. This is not a memo though, so. He could not stand the sight of a canary or a crow. He could not stand the white of a swan in the snow. And then look at him over here, standing between the... doing the reading to kids thing. Can you see the birds that he's standing next to? That's right. And he never looked up for fear of the view. He had heard that the sky was not a red hue. So he always had a book to turn his eyes down if he was ever outside when the clouds weren't around. And do you know which book the prince always had? The one that made him happy whenever he was sad. A story he had read in the bed and the bath. And maybe you can guess with the clues that we have said. Sorry, in the bath and the bed. And maybe you can guess with the clues we have said. It was the story of a boy who also wore red. And he looked just like our prince from his toes to his head. And as you, my reader, might already assume, this book is quite near you. In fact, in the same room. And it's the prince reading, Prince had a love for all things red. It's the only true color, the prince often said. A story about you, if it needs to be said, about a red prince and his book. The red book we just read. Aww. I'll grab my gem. That's a lovely little story. The red's the only true color, is what it says. Probably primarily is information in there. But I also have additional information that conflicts specifically against that. Red is the only true color? Does that mean blue is a lie? In which case, the fact that the blue memo says it's true is a lie? Actually, hang on. The only true color, and blue memo says blue memos are true. But if that was true, it would be true. If that was a lie, it would be true. Right? Interesting. Keep trudging along with that as my assumption. So blue memos are lies. Is lies? Question mark? Only red true. Only true color. Got it. Looking at the time, it is now past 4 p.m. I need to go outside. So we have since set the time lock save to open at November 7th at 4 p.m. The last memo in the staff notices on the email system is addressed to November 7th. So it has to be November 7th or after. Time lock safe not open. I couldn't tell you. It does not appear to have been November 7th. Hang on. This is dynamically updating. God damn it. I know what it's done as well. All right. How do I none of that? No P. What's the other button that brings up information? Oh. No, this is not what I'm looking for. I want to know how many days the run has been so far. Day 6. Okay, that's really important. So, it's on the day that I'm leaving, the mail was shipped. It was shipped on the day that I left, which was the 5th of November. Since then, it has been 6 days. I don't know if I arrived on November 5th or 6th. I'm going to assume that it took me a day to get here. So I arrived on the 6th, which means that's my first day. So 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. The 11th is today. And it's already past 4. So I need to set it to be 6 p.m. November 11th at 6 p.m. This is going to burst open, and we are going to loot it. One, two. I can't go too deep into the house, so I won't be able to leave. 3, 4? Did that take 4 steps to get here? Hang on. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then I'm not going to be able to get back. Okay. Rather than venturing deeper, I'm intentionally going to sit and watch the clock until 6 p.m. I'll bring you back when we've reached it. It's almost here! It's almost 6 p.m! My safe is opening! If we have the day right. I think we do. But also, if it's not today, it's the day after that. So, if it's not today, it's tomorrow. In which case, like, am I gonna wait another 2 hours to check the clock? I don't know. Hoping it's just open. It's not. What? I kind of want to wait a little longer just in case I ran down here too quickly. It feels like I got it wrong. Once unlocked, time lock safe will remain open for 4 hours. If I log into the Swan Song network and I check a different computer, actually, no. Just the Punch in, punch out as of November 4th. Yes. Staff announcements at 7th. Maybe 7th was the first day we were here. In which case it was 7th. 12th is today. Alright. Well, I am very quickly going to check if this opened again. It did not. And then I am going to set it to November 12th at 8 p.m. and we're gonna win again! Alright. I'm pretty confident in this one. But I've been pretty confident in them all. I got enough steps to head back up and look at the time. Heck, I'll even do it in person. Alright. As soon as that clock strikes 8 p.m., I'll know whether or not it is November 12th. Alrighty, tidy. It's time to confirm whether or not it's November 12th. It has passed 8 p.m. Is our time lock safe finally open? So the 12th again, on the math, the staff notice was left on the first available day that we could have been here, which would have been the 7th, assuming that the 6th is the last day the staff can be here because they had to clear out the day before we came. Boom! That's the time lock safe, baby! Really? It just comes with a single gem? 11. V11. This is 7. This could be related to the scepter. Dear Uncle, the disappearance of my cousin Mary has long sat unfavorably with me and my father. I will freely admit to you that the chilly airs of indifference you may have felt in my presence can only be attributed entirely to the suspicions that I have harbored for these past few years. Suspicions entirely aimed at yourself. And while I've never had the opportunity to prove it, I felt very strongly that you have had some deeper involvement in those events 6 years ago. 6 years ago. The circulating rumors of those months did nothing but further the reinforcement of my convictions in this fact. Those of us that are once bitten are twice shy, and I am aware of the cost my aggressively aloof behavior has had on the social standing of our family. I do not apologize for my actions, though I am now willing to admit that the conclusions I reached may have been flawed. Last week, I had a confidential conversation with one of our mutual acquaintances, a conversation that has shed more light on this mystery than all of my father's countless fruitless inquiries over the years. I now have reason to believe that you were, in fact, responsible for smuggling my cousin under cover of night across the Red Border to the southern seafront. And I believe this may have occurred in September, a full 7 months after she was reported missing. So this would tend to suggest that it is Mary Marigold's? Mary Matthew Jones? A full 7 months after she was reported missing. So, smuggled in September, which is 7 months after missing. A date that coincides not with her public disappearance in February, but instead with the notable theft of the ruby crown. And I believe all of this may have occurred in September, a full 7 months after she was reported missing. A date that coincides not with her public disappearance in February, but instead with the notable theft of the ruby crown. So which date is that? That is and I believe this may have occurred in September, a full 7 months after she was reported missing. A date that coincides not with her public disappearance in February, but instead with the notable theft of the ruby crown. So the smuggling occurs near the time of the theft of the ruby crown. Would tend to suggest she might be involved. If the Blackwater insurgents were in fact responsible for the heist, as some have claimed, I believe this scenario entirely plausible. And the fact that 2 of the crown's 8 rubies have now surfaced has given me renewed optimism that she is still alive. Alive, safe, and finally free. Perhaps my willingness to accept such a sensational story betrays my own desperation. Desperation for answers, desperation for hope, and desperation for a narrative in which you are not the villain. In that distant land we all dream of, the land where the strangling crimson curtains draped across our sky are pulled back and the windows of the shutters of discontent flung wide open, in that distant land, I pray one to find our Marion safe, happy, and absolved. Courtney. So this note is written by Courtney. It is addressed to an uncle and cousin Mary has unsat with you and your father. So Courtney and Courtney's dad are both suspect of this. The smuggling lines up with the Ruby Crown. If Blackwater insurgents were in fact responsible, the scenario is entirely plausible, and the fact that 2 of the Crown's 8 rubies have now surfaced has given me renewed optimism that she is still alive. So the idea there being proposed is that she was sent with the Ruby Crown outside of the country, was smuggled, and has been selling them in order to support herself. Interesting. And that's specifically on the red note marked the 7th. Now, the 7th was a scepter in the chapel. I can't necessarily claim those to be related, but it certainly feels like they might be. And was that a ruby we picked up? No, it was literally just a gem still. I was wondering if maybe that counted. Does not appear it did. Remain where you are now. Given the red guard is due tomorrow, we've agreed your plan and have disabled remote access to other terminals and sealed the network mainframe. That said, the note in here is the one that implicates that Marion has gone missing. So I don't think Marion is one of the 3 characters that is kept down here. In fact, I think them to be Courtney, her dad, and someone else. I don't think I have the ability to pull back up the notes that I found in one room. Red envelope. Interesting. Is that a permanent edition? So, yeah, like if I click on a room, is it going to show me very specifically the notes that exist in that room? I don't imagine so. The note that I would be looking for... I can't even remember where it was. Guest bedroom or boudoir. I believe it was in the guest bedroom, actually. bunk room, nursery. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to figure it out until I find the pages again. Actually, it's archives. The archives contain a century of records, files pertaining to the Sinclair family, numerous interests, which are sealed and unable to access. But I believe on that desk, there's a series of different notes. I actually might just look back at my recording in between this episode and the next one in order to check that, rather than having to spawn another room, specifically go to that room in order to reread that note. Feels actually like a much better idea to me. I will say I definitely don't have enough movement in order to be able to actually get to a new room and then do anything with it, so I'm going to be calling it a day here. I'm so glad we finally confirmed what day it is. November 12th by this point. Mount Holly's small cottage. 14 rooms have been reached. Rank reached 5. 77 steps have been taken. New rooms 4. Items found 4. But the real strength of this being the fact that we managed to unlock the shelter outside. I'll save and continue. Hit this screen. And then before the next episode, I will have read those documents again and I will be able to tell you what they said that could be relevant. Until then, though, my name has been Rhapsody. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. A special thanks this episode to Kimaru, and hopefully we will see you all next time.